how to make a concrete slab using concrete and perlite, trying to make it light so it works.
Good morning. We are coming to you from Plant City, and today I will start the process of making some concrete slabs. Just wanted to show you this product that I'm using, this Garden Craft hardware cloth, 1/4 inch mesh opening, 24 inches wide, 10 feet long, and you can see it's used for crafts, screen protectors, and soffits. Today is May 6th, 2024, and this is the second little clip that I've included in the making of lightweight slabs using this mesh metal. And below the tin snips you'll see what is a foil covered mound like object, which is just a basket covered with foil. It's going to be used for the mold for the first one that I do. Gloves. And working with this wired mesh, you're going to want to use some gloves. And now that this portion of the mold is over with, we will start the next part of the procedure, which will be a little bit of cutting in here, a little bit of cutting in there, and what we're doing here is making it so that we can crimp this. If you're happy with it, then you can just kind of leave it where it is there, but I'm not all that happy with it, so I'll continue to work with it. One of the things we want to do is take a moment and try to create a hole for drainage. For that, I'm going to switch over to my wire cutters. Try to switch over to my wire cutters.
Those are our American roosters that you hear in the background, not Canadian roosters that you might hear on the Bonsai Zone with Nigel Saunders.
Say gloves really should be worn during this. I imagine you can see that, but I don't know for a fact whether you can or not. Now the thing is, I don't want this perfectly round, and I will be applying the concrete to this side first. That's why the mold sort of hold its shape when I put the concrete over it. Now we're coming into the next stage. I have cut away some of the metal and reshaped it a bit. I wanted to show you this perlite, which I'm going to be introducing into the concrete. We are starting with this amount of concrete and perlite. I'm going to mix it with water. You might notice another form here that I've come up with. There's the previous form. The thing is, I'm learning as I go. So what I'm trying to do is to have a secondary form in case I have additional concrete. So I'll come back to you in a minute. the first bit of concrete with perlite put down, and it is so different using this mixture than when I used concrete mortar with just the sand. This also has, this is the concrete mortar. I don't know if you can see, but in the center here I've actually left this green in place, did not make a hole, but I have a form there to actually allow me to see where I want the holes. And so I'm working around it, leaving the screen in place, knowing that in bonsai we will be adding a screen later. I figured why not start from the beginning to do that. So I'm trying to press this concrete down. This will be the bottom layer of the slab, and then later the top layer will go on the inside of it. So starting with this like this, and this will have to dry, so we'll have to wait till tomorrow to actually see how things turn out. Let me add the last little bit. Trying to press this perlite down into the screen. So it comes through the other side. Well, I've started my second form, and I've reduced the amount of perlite in it, and it looks a lot better. This is the one, the form, the original one that has the hole cut into it, and I'm using a piece of cardboard as a cutout. Getting ready to prepare the next batch of concrete to finish this one off. Add the last bit of concrete by hand onto this. Looks like I got a little bit more perlite in this grouping than I did on the last. Trying to do these edges now. I first lay it into place, and then I'll form it once I get it all out of here. Take it right out to the edge, and don't worry about the stuff falling down. You want this to look more natural, so you don't want it to be sort of form-fitting, but and remember that you're going to be doing the other side, so any mistakes that you might make on this side can be corrected on the other side. I'm actually using wax paper underneath this mold, so it doesn't stick
Hopefully it doesn't stick. We'll find out. But, one of the things you want to do too also is that you want to leave a sort of a valley coming away from the drain hole. You don't want this laying flat. You want it to be able to drain out, so you might want to create like a crease. Also, you have a lot of different options with wiring on this. When we get to do the other side, I'll put in some areas that will allow it to be able to attach plant material to it. But again, it's not going to hurt to create like the thing has got to sit somewhere and somehow. You don't want it to be totally rocking. And we probably can be able to figure some of that out a little bit later also. But this is where we are right now. This seems to be holding quite well. And like the other one, we'll have to wait till tomorrow. Well, today is May 7th, and I wanted to show you the results of this first form that I did. It is very light, and you'll notice that it came apart a little bit here. The perlite content in it has kind of made it weaken. This is what the other side looks like. So I'm going to come through and add some reinforcement to this, and then I'm going to concrete this side, not using any perlite. Now the second one, which was less perlite, more concrete, has a great structure. And what I'm going to do, I'm not adding any more reinforcement because this is much thicker. I'm going to do some solid concrete around the edges, fill in a little bit gaps here, and then later on probably hit it with some more liquid concrete to give it a smoother look. And I'm kind of happy with the way the exterior looks. I'll pull this out later here for the drainage, and we'll go from there. I wanted you to see what rocks look like with concrete. These rocks seem to match very well. Thinking about doing a little root over rock. I did add some tie downs here and there. I got 3 on this. And then for this, I used a lot of the scrap screen, placing it in here. Put 2 copper wires in place. One of them I actually tied in place, and I'm going to overlay this with concrete and concrete alone. And then I took the rest of the scrap metal I had from that section and created this little, what looks like a sandal, but it'll make a nice planter. Today, I'll show you how I mix the concrete using the mist on my water hose. It's a little soupy. A lot soupier than I want it. soupy part works really good with the areas where you want to fill in gaps. It's starting to solidify pretty good, but I forgot one of the key things that I need to do, and that is to moisten the concrete that is going on. It's a little sloopy. It's a little sloppy. I guess that's the right word, but or soupy. Yet it seems to be very workable. Seems to be drying quite quickly. So, some more here, and then I'm going to do the handwork. That's why I'm wearing the gloves. It almost seems to be forming up very quickly today, even though it's very soupy. It seems to almost instantly want to dry. I think it's because I'm at the end of the concrete. And since I'm at the end of the concrete, there's more concrete in it than sand. More concrete in it than sand. So sure that these little points are available to me. Got 1, 2, should be a third one around here. I don't know why I can't find it. Oh well. Left with one choice. And that choice is to make it really sticky now. Try to pour it. Switch over to my cup.
Well, there's the other slab overlaid with concrete. I left the drainage holes open with the screen in place to give you some idea that I'm working with a new concrete. The other stuff was very brittle, as you can see. This is the new product that I'm using. Today is May 8th, and today we're going to overlay some concrete to these areas where the wire is exposed. We're going to give this a smooth surface, and we'll go from there. Also on this one, there's a little spot here and a little spot here that you can see the wire through, a little spot here. And I'm thinking about doing a little paint to the outer edge. I'm going to leave this blank, and then I'm going to do a little bit to the outer edge here, and we'll go from there. I've hit this area that I'm going to be working on with just a little bit of water, and then I'm just applying just enough to cover the wire that's exposed. There was like 3 spots that I wanted to hit. I've only made up enough concrete in this batch for these little spots. Start one last project. Got a picture that I'm going to show you that I'm trying to make this like. I start by starting on the inside and trying to work my way around. Gotta watch out for the wires on this one. A lot of wires.
mixture might be a little too wet for this application. Well, I don't know if you can see this. I'm trying to keep you in the loop. I think I finally got it where I want it. Leave a little rough inside for the roots to grab hold of. Place it back in this area here to dry.